Hey guys, it's Karen Sparkle. So today I'll be talking about Sesame Street. So let's just say, so don't get me wrong or anything, but I don't really watch Sesame Street like most of you guys from America watched really. 'Cause- so the thing is, I am not from America, of course, because you can probably can tell by my accent because I'm British, so that means I'm from the UK, United Kingdom. So let's just say I do remember some things that I know about Sesame Street, and so I will be talking some things that you guys might like to hear about, um, well, my personal opinions and thoughts about Sesame Street. So let's do this. So let's say, Sesame Street has, well, it's sort of my, well, not much of it, but maybe like a little bit. So let's just say it's a little bit of my childhood sometimes, because even though I'm not really from, from America, because that's Sesame Street is actually American um preschool thingy show for the children. But don't get me wrong, because there are other people in my country do watch Sesame Street, but even though that not all everyone from the UK, including me, haven't watched the actual, you know, the whole program of Sesame Street, because even though I wasn't, um, let's just say, as a kid, I don't really, you know much about Sesame Street. So let's just say, um, there are a few things that I've already learned about Sesame Street. So, th- there are some few characters that I know, and some of them are actually my favorites because I know them, you know, the ones that I mostly remembered. And, and these are Elmo, Big Bird, Ernie and Bert, and I know Zoe, and I also yeah, oh, Snuffle something, Big Bird's best friend. And I also remember some of the like people, like us, like Gina. Um, I don't know all the names, but I'll try my best. There's Gordon, I think, and I think I also remember, but I don't really know him much like the others that I know. But I have heard of a character called Mr. Hooper, and I believe there's a storyline about Mr. Hooper's death thingy. And I don't know if you guys might remember that episode when it first came out sometime long time ago. Well, I'm sure enough some of you may remember, but I remember watching a video of it um, with Big Bird sharing all his human friends his drawings of them. But and he was asking like, "Where's Mr. Hooper?" And when he thought Mr. Hooper was in his shop, what that woman, I don't know what's her name, but I just remember she said that Mr. Hooper's is not there. And Big Bird was really confused, like he doesn't understand what's what's going on, and until everyone told him that he passed away. And it is kind of sad to be honest, because Mr. Hooper is Big Bird's friend actually. So let's just say that that's why I learned that, because I remember watching a video of it, and I actually feel sorry for Big Bird because he really likes Mr. Hooper. And to be honest, that episode is actually talking about what death really about. Like how those people feels about someone you loved or you know the most passed away. And to believe me, I know how it feels because I lost some of my family members, including some of my old pets. Well, let's just say I don't really remember him very much because I was only a baby at the time because, well, I think I did have a little memory of him until he died, and that's his, well, was my granddad. Um, Granddad Jerry, name was. He was my dad's dad. I do miss him sometimes, but I don't. Well, it's really hard to explain since I don't really remember him. Like I remember, my other granddad, who's my mom's dad, because well, my mom's dad, who is, well, my granddad, he's the one that I mostly remembered throughout my childhood, teenhood, to adulthood. And I do love and dearly miss. And yeah, and I also miss my nan, who's my dad's mom, Nanny Sal. I'm actually named after my Nanny Sal. Well, not technically, but my middle name was named after my nan. Because my first name was named after my other nan, my mom's mom. I know can be confusing. Yeah. Well, let's just focus on Sesame Street. So yeah, I just remember their storyline from Sesame Street, and I also remember oh, loads of things about, it's about ABC and numbers like 1, 2, 3. I had to be honest, I kind of like ABCs and learning numbers too because they're kind of interesting and they help and they do help you, you know, because everyone needs to learn them because if you don't learn them, you'll be nothing. Well, I mean, not well. Sorry, I'm not really good at explaining, like I keep saying. Um, so yeah, I just remember this VHS I used to watch with my best friend Sophie. Um, it's called Learning Numbers and the Best of Ernie and Bert. Well, Bert and Ernie. Yeah, it doesn't really matter whether which way you want to say it, but so I just remember that VHS, and I mostly remember the one with the best of Ernie and Bert. So let's just say I remember the whole scene of it because I remember every clips of if you guys remember Ernie's baby cousin called Ernestine. I have to be honest, she is kind of cute and she has Ernie's laugh and it's so cute. Oh, okay, she's making my heart melt already. Don't believe me, I just sometimes like babies sometimes. And I'll just say um that that Gina and Big Bird were babysitting her because Annie was away with birds, I think. I don't know exactly because I'm not always good at remember things at the time. Um, and I do remember some clips with Bert and Ernie in the cinema, and then this woman with a very tall hat, and Ernie was trying to have an idea, you know, because he can't see the movie, but he was trying to figure out how to see the movie without having that woman's hat in the way. But his ideas is kind of a bit silly in my opinion. Um, I just say it is kind of funny at the end. Um, after when Ernie asks the woman to move her hat, and which she did, and suddenly Uh, it blocked Bert. It is kind of funny, in my own personal opinion. And let's just say I do find it funny, to be honest. But if I remember correctly, that actually did used to scare me when I was a kid. I don't know exactly like why exactly, because I was only a kid, so don't get me wrong. It was long. It was from a really long time ago. I always get nightmares of it sometimes when I was a kid, but luckily I don't anymore because all growing up. Um, that's the thing. Oh yeah, I remember something else. Um, I don't know if you guys may remember this particular movie, and it's called Elmo in Roachland. It's kind of basically it's a bit similar to Alice in Wonderland, but it's about Elmo um trying to rescue his favorite blanket for this nasty um toy snatcher called um oh, hang on a minute, Huxley, and his bug as well, his companion. And I have to be honest, the guy who plays Huxley is the same guy who did the voice of Papa Smith in The Lost Village. Because if I remember correctly, the first time I went to see that movie with my dad back in 2017, I was like shocked, surprised when when I when I recognized the voice, and I was like, hang on a minute, like, hang on the really Mo, is that Huxley's voice from Elmo's in Wonderland? I mean, seriously, I think it was my dad actually said that to me actually because he told me, oh Caitlin, look, that's the guy who plays Mr. Huxley from Elmo's in Wonderland, and I was like, what? Okay, I forget myself a bit, you know. So yeah, everything was that. And I do remember this video on YouTube. Um, I think it sometime came out in 2011 or 2012, I think, when Elmo and Katy Perry was playing, and she was singing her own song, but changing the lyrics because you probably might remember it if you search it on YouTube. So I just remember watching it for a long time ago. I still watch it from time to time because I always want to bring back so many memories. So believe me, I'm not the only one. Um, yeah, let's see. I remember this video in top 10 something about Sesame Street, and I remember and it was back in 2017. And so, if I remember correctly, I was watching this video, and one of them shows up with Ernie as a zombie. And well, at first I was kind of got myself scared of it because the way Ernie looked like when he was a zombie, it just spooked me. It just scared me like so. I even get nightmares of it sometimes, and I hate it. But sometimes I do find it funny the way he keeps shouting sheep. Me and Savy sometimes do it together from time to time, to cheer me up. So I just uh, and and I do remember this website, um, uh, well, the Sesame Street website where you played all different types of games. But into but well, let's just say, but to explain this, in during in 2000s until 2010s or something, when the whole internet used to let us play online games until you know what happened, blocking every game that we really wish to play again. And it does feel disappointing, and I bet you guys feel the same. Because sometimes we really, really want to play these games again. I mean, there's childhood disappointed, isn't it? Um, I remember some of them, helping Bert, it, those thingy, um, they're like these circles, but I don't know what they're called. I don't know whether they are pin thing. I just remember playing that game. Actually, to if I remember correctly, you can able to watch all those different games on YouTube now because some people seem to be finding these games and then sort of like uploading them to YouTube, and it's kind of good to know that. And I also remember the one helping Oscar in you know sorting out his his personal garbage thing, but in different color. I just remember that one as well. I also remember the other one. It's like a story game with Elmo when he keeps asking about he wants to go to the bathroom, and I remember that so well. I remember that one. So yeah, um, I think that's it. I'm afraid if I have any more information about Sesame Street, I'll make another one. Just in case. So if you have any sort of questions about Sesame Street, you can always be free to do so and I'll be able to answer them. Or maybe someone else can answer it for you. Something like that. So yeah, I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye.